call the, wow, got a little echo. We're going to call the okay. Good morning. We're going to call the Zoning Ordinance Advisory Committee meeting to order. It is Tuesday, April the 22nd at 9:12 a.m. I believe we will take attendance and confirm a quorum.
Commissioner Housewright.
Present.
Commissioner Wheeler-Reagan. Commissioner Barrett. Back here. Commissioner Baring. Okay. Commissioner McGregor. Don't think he's here. Not yet. Commissioner Reeves.
Good morning, I'm here.
Thank you. Commissioner Rubin. I'm here. Thank you. And Commissioner Carden is absent. And we have a quorum.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Before we dive into our one agenda item, maybe we can go ahead and dispense with the minutes from the previous meeting. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Rubin. Do I have a second? I'll second it. Any comments? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Minutes approved. I believe at this time I turn it over to Mr. Porche for a reading in of our item this morning and a staff presentation.
Okay, all right. Case number DCA 245-006. This is an amendment to the Dallas Development Code, Section 51A-4.701E, regarding our postponement section, to eliminate the section and shift the request for postponements of hearings for zoning cases from administrative action to a request made as a part of the City Plan Commission and or the City Council public hearing process. So the purpose of this request is to promote a more equitable and transparent public hearing process by removing the administrative and automatic granting of postponements, to reduce duplicative expenses on the city caused by renotification costs that often far exceed the $150 postponement fee, to restore discretionary authority to governing bodies, allowing them to evaluate the merits of postponement requests, to improve efficiency in processing zoning cases, and to reduce delays in the implementation of area plans, and to address growing costs of complications resulting from recent state legislation regarding examples like SB 929, which require additional notifications. A little bit of background. The impetus for this code amendment is birthed from three goals of the overall department, which is to improve our processing times for zoning cases, to examine the financial impact and the rising costs to send mailouts, duplication of noticing, and potentially thousands of properties to renotice, and then to also examine the transparency and fairness of our postponement section. Currently a non-discretionary administrative action versus a public process request determined by the CPC or City Council. So a little bit of the existing code overview. Section 51A-4.701E requires the applicant, or allows the applicant and the opposition within the area of notification to request postponement of a scheduled public hearing by paying a $150 fee and submitting a formal letter of request to the Director of Planning and Development that sets forth the grounds for the postponement. Once received, the postponement is granted automatically with receipt of the fee and the letter of request. One postponement is allowed for the opposition and the applicant prior to the CPC, and additionally, one is also allowed before the City Council, and the request may be for 4 weeks or more in the future. These requests are typically made after notices are sent and must be submitted no later than 5 p.m. on Monday preceding the week of the hearing. And as I mentioned before, it does trigger the requirement for another newspaper notice and a second mail out to announce the postponement to the public with the new date. So I wanted to go over some of the existing code impacts. On the table on the top of the screen, you'll see the price of materials for notice of hearing. This is for the CPC postponement request, but I do want to note that the CPC and City Council, the cost will be the exact same. You see it on your screen, it's 9 cents for the total package. That's the cost of the materials. The cost to produce that notice comes out to $2.02 per mailing. And so it can get pretty costly on the front end when mailing out the notifications, but once that automatic postponement is triggered, those prices can add up well above the $150 fee. And so some existing code impacts by the numbers. For individual zoning cases from 2021 to 2025, there were approximately 25 individual zoning cases. As it pertains to authorized hearing, 4 of the last 6 authorized hearings have been postponed by a property owner within the area of request. And these include Hampton Clarendon Corridor, which consists of 814 properties, Downtown Elmwood, which consists of 251 properties, Floor Farms, which has 114, and Elm Thicket, which had 2,382 properties. So of the most recent authorized hearings, postponements have added up to 2 months to the process. For Elm Thicket, the delay was done at the CPC and City Council level, adding an additional 8 weeks total. For Downtown Elmwood, it was done at both the CPC and City Council. For Hampton Clarendon, because that is an active case, it was only done at CPC, but there's a chance that it could also be delayed if it passes CPC at City Council. And then for Floor Farms, it was delayed for City Council for up to 7 weeks. So I want to provide some case examples for you. So for the Hampton Clarendon authorized hearing, this case was originally scheduled for February 20th, 2025. But on February 10th, 2025, the director received a request for a postponement, and the case got originally postponed to March 20th. The mailouts were required to be sent automatically, and another notification was required to be put in the newspaper. And so the additional mailout costs came out to a little over $1,500. And the newspaper notices varied, but for this one specifically, it came out to a little over $700 to renotice in the newspaper as well, which is well above the $150 fee. So the proposal today is to strike the section of 51A-4.701, subsection E, and staff is recommending approval of the proposed code amendment to this section of the code, section 51A-4.701 E, postponements of the Dallas Development Code.
Thank you very much for the presentation. Committee members, do we have questions? I will ask Mr. Forte if you could rewind your slides just a bit back to, let's keep going, one more. Yes, this one. Oh, no. There you go.
No, go forward too.
Yeah, I think.
Go forward too.
Yeah.
No, sir. Yeah. And then one more. Right there.
That's the one. That one got by me a little quick a moment ago. Okay, so 25 zoning cases postponed. 4 of the last 6 authorized hearings have been postponed. Okay. Oh, and then that affected 800 properties at Hampton, 251 at Elmwood. So those are the number of properties that were noticed because of the postponement. Okay. Okay. Yeah, and so those costs clearly add up. Then, so the example you had, which was Hampton Clarendon, was at least $2,000.
Yes, sir.
You just took the middle range of the newspaper notice, and you're probably a little over 2,000. Okay. All right. I don't see questions or hands being raised. Okay, there's Mr. Reeves. I knew if I just kind of worked on him a little bit, that his hand would go up. Mr. Reeves.
I was gonna kind of let the others go ahead, but, so my question is, what is the timing of when the notices go out relative to the CPC date?
So Andrea Gillis, Deputy Director, Planning and Development. I'm going to try to help support JP on this one. And I also want to, after I answer that question, I realized that there is one slide missing from this about sort of what the benefits of this code amendment are and how you can still ask for a postponement. We're not eliminating the option to request a postponement. We're just shifting the when and to the whom makes the decision. So I wanted to, for some reason, that slide which was kind of a critical slide, was left out of this. But what we've been finding is that the requests for postponement are happening after the notices already go out for either CPC or City Council. So at that point, there's nothing that we can do. We have to renotice everything with the new hearing date. And I will say that has caused a lot of confusion to people because they're receiving multiple notices with multiple meeting dates. And if you already have in your head that it's going to be May 11th, and now you're receiving another notice for June 25th, it starts to become a little bit confusing. Did that answer your question?
Almost, partially, yes, thank you. So if we're gonna have a hearing on July 1, when do the notices get mailed?
Oh, 10 days. The notices get mailed at minimum 10 days before the hearing.
Okay.
And
And
15 for City Council. Sorry, Sarah was just correcting me.
okay, so 10 days, because I have seen the situation where something all of a sudden pops up and the neighbors did not know about it and they're like freaking out. I don't think I ever, when I was on CPC, I don't think I ever had a case where someone paid the $150. I think we were always in touch, but I have seen it. So, okay.
So to that point, it's this weird, so we have this thing called postponements in the code, right? But it is, so with this amendment, basically what we're saying is that it removes it from an administrative action. So an individual, if you're within the area of request, if you own property, you can come in, ask the director or the director's representative from planning and development. You pay a $150 fee and you say, I want to postpone the case. That postpones the case. What we're saying is you can still request a postponement, but now we're recommending that you go to either the public hearing for CPC or the public hearing for City Council, depending on where the case is in the process, and you ask at the podium as part of the public record. And then either CPC or City Council will establish a date certain upon that request if they want to grant the postponement. It could also be, as we were talking to our attorneys, there's nothing by state law that requires us to say that there's something that's a postponement. As you all are well aware, cases are held all the time. It's very similar to the process of holding a case. So often what an applicant will do, or somebody opposed to the case, they can contact their city plan commissioner, they can contact their city council member, talk them through it. It is very rare that I have found in cases where people feel that there is a legitimate reason to give more time to a case that it hasn't been approved. We're just saying now it should be shifted to the public realm. And when it's shifted to the public realm and the public hearings, then we don't have to pay to renotice because the date certain time is set on the public record. And then everyone in the public realm knows what that date is.
Okay, so define date certain, would you say date certain time?
Yeah, so what we would say is, what the motion could be is either we're going to, move to postpone or move to hold the item until X date. Then, 4 weeks in, the next CPC or the next city council meeting in June. And that motion, part of that motion will include the date, the next date for the hearing.
Okay, all right. And if we got to that date and we still needed more time,
You could ask for another postponement
you
or
could
to be
ask for
held
another
again.
postponement. So in a perfect world,
Exactly.
everybody's on tune with a neighborhood knows what's going on. They see something they don't like. They reach out to their city plan commissioner. Whoa, we didn't know anything about this. City plan commissioner reaches out to the applicant and finds out, lo and behold, they really haven't told anybody. So the city plan commissioner can postpone it right there for a certain date and keep postponing to however many dates that they would need.
Yes, it can be in the hands of the city plan commissioner. I will also say that, there's sort of de facto postponements. A lot of this is coming down to the authorized hearing areas where we have huge properties. And I will say we have many authorized hearings coming up that have thousands of properties in them. So this would be really impactful. That noticing costs more than $10,000 for, one notice. I will say that when we do these community meetings and we go out, it is very rare of us to not work with people who still want more time. We've always done an additional community meeting, or we've always done, but again, it gets to a certain point where we need to get the case scheduled, put it in the hands of either CPC or city council to start making those determinations. And if commissioners and council members want more time in the case, they can make that decision.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That was very thorough. I appreciate that.
I think those of us that have spent time on CPC would confirm Ms. Gillis's representation of what happens. We hold things at the drop of a hat on CPC with the slightest indication of an issue in the community. We have a well-established tradition of pulling cases and holding them. So I think this proposed amendment is it's a good idea and really does nothing to impact a citizen's right to have a little more time on a case. Do I see any other questions or discussion this morning? If not, I suppose we could take a motion.
I'll make a motion unless someone else wants to.
Thank you, Mr. Rubin.
In the matter of DCA, let me pull the number back up. DCA 245006. I move that we recommend that the amendment go to CPC with the recommendation of adoption.
Thank you, Mr. Rubin. Do I have a second? I see Ms. Wheeler-Reagan raising her hand. I'm going to take that as a second. Any discussion?
I'll just briefly comment. I think our previous questions for staff hit upon a lot of it. Most, if not the vast majority of requests by a member of the public to hold a case for a reasonable time period are honored by CPC commissioners and council members. And I think that system works. And really, some of the instances where I've seen someone pay the $150 postponement fee, I struggle to characterize what their motivations might be, but ultimately it seems to me like it's instances where one person sort of, sticks a wrench in a working democratic process that we have here. I think the CPC is very sensitive to when cases need to be held to a later date because there are legitimate concerns that need to be worked out. And I frankly, in my time on CPC, have mostly seen the postponement not used to beneficial effect. And when, there is a case where a neighborhood is unaware of a pending zoning case because the applicant hadn't done their homework and due diligence, CPC commissioners readily hold it. So I think we are striking an appropriate balance here by, if council were to adopt this amendment to our development code.
Thank you, Mr. Rubin. Any other comments on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Staff, do we have any other business this morning? No other business for ZOAC this morning. Seeing that, we will adjourn our meeting at 9:32 a.m. Thank you all for being here.
That's a record there, Chair House, right?
Well,
Minutes, that's awesome.
yeah. Well, we like efficiency in government, Mr.